'cause you're chosen. No one can take that away from you.
Hey, what's up guys, SK here, and today we're going to go ahead and get into this video because I thought about making this video for a while, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do when it came to my future with Bless Unleashed, and I've decided that my future with Bless Unleashed is no more. I haven't been banned or anything. I haven't gotten anything done wrong with my account. It's just, it's not worth it for me with everything that's happened, everything that's still going on, and things aren't being handled the way I guess people think they should be handled. And for certain people, I'm one of those people, to be honest, because we'll get into the specifics in a little bit. But yeah, this is pretty much my reason for not playing Bless Unleashed anymore. Don't let it be your reason for not playing Bless Unleashed. I enjoyed the game. I really did enjoy the game. I feel like in different developer hands, it could be a lot better. I feel like if the company that published it was the company that developed it, it could have been a lot better. But they had limited access to what they can do with, and I don't blame Bandai Namco for anything when it comes to this game. Getting into Bless Unleashed, the gameplay was okay. I mean, it was hard to get used to at first, but that's to be expected with every game. I would say it was on a difficulty level of getting used to Dark Souls. From first time playing Dark Souls or Bloodborne or any Souls-like game, where you have to get used to the fact that you're not going to land every combo that you want to get out, and get used to the fact that you're not going to be able to, just two-hit monsters everywhere you go. This is that type of game, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. I didn't have an issue getting adapted to the gameplay right off the bat because I played those Dark Souls style games. I played the betas. I knew what I was in for. I knew that I wouldn't be able to land everything I wanted to land, and I knew that I would end with incomplete combos, and that was fine. Like, I knew the style of game I was playing, and it wasn't going to be your basic, hack and slash MMORPG where you just run up and beat down a boss until their HP is 0 because you have, all the damage in the world. This wasn't going to be that type of game, and it was great for that. I understood that, and I love that because it made the game more challenging, and it made the game sustainable. But along with the good gameplay stuff, there's always the bad gameplay stuff, like the fact that the game made it so that you really had to be predatory when you played this game. The fact that ancient chests only spawned a certain amount of times in certain areas, and people mapped out these areas and kept them for themselves. The fact that smugglers, which is pretty much like your black market dealer, they spawn in certain areas at certain times, and they only carry a certain amount of objects for that time that they spawn. And people, like I said, they camp these areas out. Their entire guilds camp these areas out to make sure nobody else gets them. The same thing goes with mounts and mounts, sorry, not pets. But the same thing goes with mounts. Like, you could spend a whole week trying to find a mount, and you finally find it. And because you are the person that's doing it, someone could come along and kill the mount while you're trying to tame it, or before you try to tame it, just because they don't want you to have it. Because they wanted it first, or whatever reason. And I've run into that multiple times, where someone tried to kill the mount, or tried to kill me, just because they didn't want me to have the mount. And like I said, the game produces so much predatory style gameplay that it's not enjoyable once you get into the higher levels, because that's all you're doing is trying to collect stuff. You're trying to collect mounts. Once you get to endgame, all you're doing is collecting everything. You're collecting mounts, you're collecting titles, you're collecting letters, you're collecting achievements, and most of that stuff is based off of predatory gameplay. To access one of the actual blessings, you need to collect, I think you need to open at least one ancient chest. I know there's one for 10, but there's one where you have to just open one ancient chest. And like, if you're a person like me, I'm not going to camp those spots. Like, I'm not going to be up freaking 24/7 trying to camp a treasure chest, ancient chest spawn site, just to open a treasure chest, or just to be there for someone to get there faster than me, or someone to try to enact PvP on me just because they want the box and they don't want me to have it. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. So it's like, what's the point of me to continue to play the game when I can't do what I want to do on a regular without, people being complete douchebags about it, pretty much. That's all I can say is douchebags, to be honest. There are other words I can use, but we're going to go with douchebags. And now getting into one of the other major gameplay things was the dungeons. The dungeons in the game were fun. The dungeon rewards, however, were tedious and they didn't need to be set up how they were set up. I understand making it to where people just can't, max out their gear as quick as possible and just, get everything completed within a week. Get all your gear score all the way up within a week or whatever. But limiting the amount of chests you can open to 1 per day or 2 per day if you bought the Blessed Pass, I felt like that was just a really bad move on their part. And I understand, like I said, I understand the reason behind it, but it's like you're limiting the people from playing your game, first of all. And then the only way to be able to get more of the dungeon keys to open more dungeon reward boxes is level multiples of the same characters, which one of the GMs actually told us that was part of the point of it. Like, we'd spend more time leveling multiple characters up to the point where they could run dungeons and we'd have extra keys from that. That's not something that I'd want to do. There's a lot of time spent into leveling a character. It's not just like, oh, I can level a character to level 33 in 40 minutes to 2 hours. No, it's going to take at least 2 days to level your character. I think at this point it only takes like a day and a half now. But before it took at least 2.5 days to get your character from 1 to, say, 36. And that was if you were pushing it. Like if you were using your EXP thing, your EXP potions and everything, at every point you got them. And just for the fact that a GM said that, I was kind of just like, that's kind of a turnoff, bro. Like, you're limiting the way that we can play the game. You don't want us to. You're making the game predatory as hell, to where it comes to the fact that like we can't progress unless we play this game lifestyle. It's actually a lifestyle too, because it's not just like a thing away. Like it's not just a thing people do. It's a lifestyle. You have to be predatory in the fact that the way you play the game to get some of the stuff. And some people have never seen an ancient chest. I have seen an ancient chest, and it was a bugged one. But I've never opened an ancient chest in my life. Some people in the game have never seen an ancient chest in their life. And the only way some people get a chance to even get one is by joining the top guilds and joining their rotation of hunting ancient chests, where people will post a chest and the thing like, hey, come get this chest real quick. And if someone else gets there before them, they'll kill that person, or they'll open the chest before them. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it all. It's a really predatory style gameplay for having all these things to block players from progressing. Now that brings us to our next topic, which is progression. Progression in this game was horrendous. We're not going to even lie about that. Progression in this game was just busted. It isn't the way. I don't even know how to call it. Like, so as you level up, you get these at least certain levels you get these increasing caps of starseed. Starseed is the currency that you use to enhance your gear, as well as buy items off of the marketplace, as well as buy items from the limited currency vendor. And that's pretty much it. Actually, no, you can actually teleport with starseeds as well. Now, when it comes to starseeds, you get, I believe it's like it's like 48,000 a day or 49,000 a day if you have on both starseed boosters, which would be a 50% and a 30%. And you'd have to trade up, I believe it's 300k silver to get 49,000 starseeds every day at reset. And that's at level 26, I believe it was. I don't remember the actual level. I think it's 26. Yeah, because I had to run a bunch of characters level 26 to actually get the extra boost. It was not fun. But the issue before, and they did a patch recently to fix the amount of starseeds you consume when enhancing. Not to saying that it helped a lot, but for people say that the amount they spent going to the higher levels has gone down. But in the before months, in the first 3 months of the game, which once again, beginning of the game, it took so many starseeds to go from legendary to mythic. And this was on the enhancer that had no chance to break and was supposed to have a higher chance of enhancement. And then they even buffed the both chances of enhancement on both of the vendors and lowered the chances of your item breaking. And it still took a ton of starseeds to get to that point. The issue is that starseeds were used in the market and used as the enhancement item. And The issue with that is that there's only one way to get star seeds. Well, two ways to get star seeds. You sell items to get star seeds on the marketplace. That's a given. And then you trade in your silver for star seeds every day, which is once per day. Okay. With only those two ways to get star seeds, you have to either constantly be grinding dungeons and opening things to gain things to sell for money, which we're gonna get into that too. Or B, you're just gonna have to sit there and stockpile your daily star seed trade-ins. And either you're gonna buy your gear already enhanced, or you're gonna just stock up your star seeds and try to enhance your gear all at once. And when it goes down to whatever level it goes up to, you're gonna stop. You're gonna go ahead and save for another week or two, which is what I did. I saved for like a good 3 weeks and pushed everything to like legendary +5, and then I quit because I got tired. Like, I didn't want to have to do that every time I wanted to enhance. I didn't want to have to like stop playing it, like not really play the game for 3 weeks. I didn't want to have to just get on run a dungeon every day for 3 weeks and then finally after 3 weeks be able to enhance my gear up and finally be at a level of being able to play with everyone else. And that's kind of the point where it got to, where it's just ridiculous to me that they went ahead and put the enhancement currency the same thing as the marketplace currency. The only way to trade from another player to player would be the marketplace, and that's by selling. And you use the currency that you use to enhance to buy items. It never made sense to me, and I don't know why they did it like that. I understand, like I said, slowing progression. That's fine, but that was a horrible way to slow progression. That was one of the worst ways to slow progression. And you could tell that the original currency for the marketplace was gold, because some of the NPC dialogues would say, "I'll take your gold," or something like that. Just if you want something special, I'll take your gold, or something like that. And some of the NPCs would have those sayings where they'd mention gold instead of star seeds. So they changed that on the fly at some point in one of the betas, and I just don't think that was a good idea to do in the first place. And so onto the fact of dungeons and getting your gear through running dungeons and getting chests. The issue with that was just the fact that you had a chance to get low tier gear when you're at a higher tier already. Say I'm already in all A gear, and I'm running an abyssal dungeon for like the 5th time of the day, and I'm using my 5th key because I've saved up a bunch of keys somehow, or I bought a bunch of keys and ended up just keeping them stacked up. Now the issue with that is that I can open 5 abyssal chests and get a crap ton of B gear that are +5 or that reside within that chest and not get any piece of A gear, especially not get the A piece of gear that I need. And I suggested to them a way to change up the drop ratio, and change up the way things drop that would make it still slow down progression, but not as bad, which I guess was a completely bad idea because they just want to slow progression. But their way of doing it really just drove me away from wanting to run dungeons, because I would run dungeons for weeks and not get any good drop. And the abyssal dungeons would be the only dungeons that drop things that are worth my time at this point. All the abyssal dungeons are what drops my gear, and outside of that, like, there's no point. There's no point for me to run any other dungeons. And not many people are able to run abyssal dungeons that I need to run, so I'm not going to get a chance to buy that stuff, because when people get it, they're going to want to keep it for themselves. So you see the problem of progression there. My point is, there are multiple other ways they could have tackled the dungeon reward drops and the amount of times you can open dungeon chests per day, but they did it in a way to where they can make money, 1, and for 2, in a way that will slow down progression to keep players playing constantly. Because even unlocking the blessings proved to be taking a number of days. I think before they did a buff on the warrior tokens for the executioner blessing, I think someone said that it would take at least 9 months to get the blessings or something like that. It was like between 4 and 9 months. I don't remember what the exact number was. I don't I didn't pay attention that much because I just didn't care at that point. But they said it was like 4 or 9 months, and that was ridiculous to me because I was like, 4 or 9 months. First of all, that's 3 more bless passes. Like that's what I was thinking. First, I was like, that's 3 more bless passes. That's stupid. Like they really want you to keep playing their game. They really want you to just keep playing. And I understand you want people to keep playing the game. You want people to not lose interest. But with everything you have it the way that you have it, I'm going to lose interest a lot faster if I'm not going to be able to do other things on my character or make alternate characters of different classes because I have to make 5 of one character just to be able to run dungeons and get gear. Like, it wasn't feasible to do, and they weren't willing to change on that. And this brings me to the final point. Bugs, bans, and exploits. This was the final straw for the game for me. And this was decided right before the Soren, the recent patch of the Soren Deception. And this was supposed to be their biggest patch that, did a lot of things in the game that changed the game. But the fact that a lot of the players that abused some of the systems in the game didn't get banned and were in fact rewarded after that, or were able to still keep the items that they were glitching into the game or creating in the game that were just bugged, they didn't really fix anything. They just made the marketplace worse. They made the economy in the game worse. So from the start, we had the Wolf King bug, which was a day 1 patch bug that we got when the game launched. This made it so that people could just kill Wolf King, gain Crafting and EXP, and level up to higher levels. I didn't find out about this until probably 2 minutes before they were about to remove it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I'm already level 14, so it doesn't really matter. People were using it to get to level 16 because apparently there was a dead zone where you couldn't level up between 16 to 18, and they wanted to keep their quest to level up between those times. And I just never used bugs. I never used glitches, so I was never banned for any of these things. Now, when they took down the servers, they said that they'd fix it. And I think the first time they didn't fix it. They didn't actually fix it. Like, people were still able to do the Wolf King thing, and then they had to go back and shut down servers again and actually fix it this time. One of the next bugs was I'm probably going to go out of order with these, so I don't remember them in the exact order they were in. But I know one of them was the farm exploit, where you were able to constantly collect like anything that you farm, pretty much anything that you did in your farm, and people use that to get like the decorative cloths and stuff like that, and put them on marketplace to run the marketplace. And when that happened, they really didn't do anything. They were like, oh yeah, we're going to take all the items back. And it turns out people were still able to keep those items because people had screenshots of them still having those items. People had videos of them still having those items even after the update. And then one of the biggest ones was the Lumina Exploit. And this one you would think that they would do something for. You would think they would actually, reach out and re-roll accounts and stuff like that for. But they didn't even do that then. And this one was that for some reason people got a crap ton of Lumina. Like, everybody got a crap ton of Lumina on their accounts. And Lumina is the real world currency, like the real world cash currency in the game that you would translate your real world money to. And so people started buying like inventory space, put it on the marketplace, trying to make money in the game, trying to make more star seeds. Because, once again, you need star seeds to progress. And so when they finally, I think it was like a whole day before they actually finally took down the servers, and no, it was like a few hours after that, because I remember I was going to sleep, and then I woke up probably 30 minutes after falling asleep to messages on my Discord like, hey, do you know there's a Lumina glitch? What's the Lumina glitch? And I was like, what are y'all talking about? And then I got on the game to see I had a crap ton of Lumina, and as soon as I got on the game, I was logged off, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess servers went down. So, I don't even know, I know that when the game came back up, there was one guy on Discord that was berating me because I was saying that, that the Lumina glitchers that people were doing exploits started to be banned. They didn't need to come back to the game because they knew what they were doing. And the guy was like, oh, well, I didn't know that it wasn't my Lumina. I didn't know that it wasn't my money, that I wasn't using blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you did know, because you didn't upload $1,000 onto your account. You know you didn't do this. You didn't put that much money into your account. And the guy was like, well, it's not my fault. That's their fault for doing what they did. I was like, I'm just using what they gave me. And I'm just like, all right, guy. So they did a reset again after that because they found out some people still had their items after they did a maintenance to remove items and to pretty much take back any star seeds and anything made from the marketplace in that period of time. They somehow screwed that up as well because people still kept all their items, people still kept all their star seeds, and the guy still messaged me like later on, talking about, yeah, I still have all my stuff. You should feel stupid, blah 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 blah, and you should just go ahead and exploit like the rest of us because this isn't. I think I said those messages on Discord, but it was hilarious because I was like, okay, like just because you cheat don't mean like you're any better. You're just a cheater now. So after that, they had another exploit. I forgot what it was. I forgot what this next one was, but it was something along the lines of that same thing, and it just kept making the game like I felt like the game was broken at that point because they weren't banning people, they weren't removing items when they say they won, and they say they were, and half the time they said they were fixing a glitch. They didn't fix the glitch because they put the game back up, and the glitch would still be in the exact same area it was in. And it just got to the point where I was tired of people being rewarded for doing wrong. Like, I was always taught, like, you do right and you get rewarded. Even if you do right and you don't get rewarded, like, that's fine too. Because you're expected to be a decent person. But the fact that people are out here blatantly doing wrong, admitting that they're doing wrong, posting in Discord that they're doing wrong, and they still don't get banned. And it's just like, what's the point of even playing the game fairly then? Like, I should just go ahead and do all the exploits that come out now. Like, as soon as I find out they're out, I should just go ahead and do it because it's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to get banned for it. I'm not going to lose any progress over it. So I might as well go ahead and take that little extra boost and progress off of it. But once again, I'm not that person, so I'm not really going to do that. But yeah, that was pretty much it for that part of that. They just never, like, if in other games you'd get banned for using an exploit. I understand because they just started out, like they just started this game, the game just launched, and they're probably thinking, this is our fault that this is happening. But at some point you're gonna have to realize that the players have to take some responsibility when they do things as well. And I don't think they're ready for that when it comes to that part of it. Like, I'm not sure why they didn't ban a lot of people that they should have banned. I'm not sure because those people are still in game. Some of the people quit because something stupid happened. Like, I think it was because they put a PvP limit on PvP, so they couldn't kill people at lower levels, and a bunch of other like stupid stuff happened. But a lot of people quit because of just some stupid stuff when they got away with a ton of the exploits. And it's just like, y'all are entitled. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. I'm not gonna even shortchange it when I say it, but a good part of the Blast Unleashed community is toxic. And I mean very, very toxic. Like, we have people in the chat on random just belting out the N-word and have their names like as some type of just something that shouldn't be. Like, I've seen rapist names, I've seen pedophilia names, I've seen just things that people get banned for. Like I said, once again, but it just doesn't happen, and it's kind of just like, do they not care? Like, I understand they have stuff to do. I understand that the devs and the GMs have stuff to do. But when the chat becomes flooded with, we hate N-words over and over and over for like an hour, you would think someone would step in at some point and, ban that person. But that never happened. Like, I've sat online and just looked at the chat for a while. And that's one thing I like to do when I play MMOs. I sit back and I watch the chat because I like to see what people say. And there was one person, I forgot what their name was. It was a basic name because they wanted something that I guess made them seem cool. It was like water or something like that. It was either water or hammer. One of those. I don't think it was water because that's probably something by somebody that I actually know. I think I'm misplacing the name. But it was one of those basic names. Like, people, they'll go pick up the name like air or fire or light or something just like really basic because they want it. It was one of those basic names, and they were like, "Oh, N words this and N words that," and this went on for like a good hour and a half, and people were disgusted by it. Like people were telling them, "Hey, shut up," like this and that, and the person just kept going. We were like, "Oh, well, if you don't want to see it, just block it." Like, why would I have to just block them? Like, why would it take me blocking someone that is on this game, just completely disregarding the fact that nobody wants to see their trash talk, especially when that isn't even considered trash talk. That's just hate speech. And like, things were never done. Like, I've sent in reports and I've seen that person online multiple times. Other people send in reports and we've still seen that person online multiple times. And it's just like, it doesn't change anything. There are multiple people that do this. There are people that do this constantly, where they just berate people online over and over, and nothing happens. And they're the ones running the community when it comes to the game. And this was one of the nails in the coffin that actually put me down on Bless Unleashed when it came to just deciding I'm going to quit. Like, I saw the way that the community was heading, and I was like, it's not going to get any better. Yes, I understand that in MMOs, there are going to be shit talkers. That's going to be a thing no matter what. I know that. I've been a part of the group that was either shit talker, not in the sense of being like racist or anything, but in the sense of just talking crap to people because you're on the winning side, or you're on the losing side, and you're still talking crap just because you want to talk crap. But there's no reason to bring that much level of hatred into your crap talking just because you want to be racist, you know? And people don't understand that. People don't seem to get that, you know, you don't need to be racist to have fun, or you don't need to be racist to crap talk, to shit talk someone else when it comes to, you know, your gaming. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. That's pretty much it for that. That's all I have to say about this video. For my current time frame, I'm no longer playing Bless Unleashed. I probably won't be covering any Bless Unleashed things after this other video I'm going to put out later. I'm not sure if when the game comes out. I know when the game comes out on PC, I'm not going to play it. That's 100% me not playing it because that's by Neowiz, and Neowiz is just trash completely to me. And if it does release on PS4, depending on which one of my friends are playing it, I might decide to play it, but not going to support it financially. I'm not going to put money into it. And that's just my thoughts on the subject. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about, you know, anything I said in this video. If it resonates with you on any form, frequency, that you know, that's how you feel about the game, or if that's some things that you've encountered, or that's the reason that you quit the game in the first place. Because a lot of people have quit the game because of some of the reasons I've stated. And it's just, nothing will change. Nothing has changed, and nothing will change. And we're tired of not seeing change, so we're done at this point. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share if you guys are interested in any of my other content that will be coming in the future. I do have a lot planned for this month, like I said before in other videos. Bless Unleashed is not the end. It was only the beginning, and hopefully things will get better on different games, because I have faith in other games, but this is not one of them. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.